Hi people, it's me, Anja. My pronouns are she and her, and welcome back to my channel for my 2023 reading wrap-up. Before we get into, really, my 2023 reading stats, I wanted to do, first and foremost, my 2024 reading resolutions. So, if I'm being completely honest with you, I don't know where I'm going to be in the next 6 months of 2024, just because I'm currently on the lookout for full-time jobs. I thought that I would have found a full-time job by now, because if you didn't know, in May will mark 1 year since I've graduated college, and so far my life post-college is not quite what I expected it to be or what I thought it would be. Finding a full-time job straight out of college was much harder than I was expecting to be, and much more frustrating to cast such a large net and get very little fish back, because as I am right now, I have not found a full-time job, and I just thought that I would have by now, although I am working part-time. Basically, all that to say, I have much lower reading expectations for 2024, because when I do find a full-time job this year, I'm thinking that it might hinder the amount of books that I will read in 2024. Although I thought that you'd think that college would have hindered that. And I ended up reading so many books last year and the year before. So maybe I'll be wrong in that? I don't know. Basically, I have lower expectations for 2024 since I'm not quite sure how the year will pan out. I also hope to move out in 2024. So yeah. Anyway, with that said, let's dive into my 2023 reading stats. I know last year I counted how many YA versus middle grade books I read and by genre and everything, but this year I don't really care about any of those stats. So let's just dive into the stats that I do personally care about. This video might be shorter than usual, actually, but I just wanted to make this video and I wanted to focus on the stuff that I actually want to talk about instead of the stuff that I don't actually care about. As for my 2024 booktube goals though, I will say that I used to say in my head, not on camera, that I hope to hit 700 subscribers or something like that. But I don't know. I've been trying to manifest that for years and years and years and just hasn't happened yet. And maybe it's my timing, maybe it's the quality of my videos used to be so much worse. And the audio used to be so much worse than it is now. And my videos are definitely much more clearer than they used to be. But I don't know. Maybe the algorithm just hates me. Who knows? But basically, I'm trying not to think about the numbers anymore. Because at the end of the day, I'd rather have genuine people who are engaging in my content than to see the numbers go up, but see little to no actual engagement, genuinely. I don't know if that makes any sense at all. But basically in the past, I would sometimes gain a bunch of subscribers overnight or whatever. But I wouldn't gain a lot of genuine interaction and engagement. So maybe the numbers aren't really worth it. I don't know if that makes any sense. I know that a lot of people do have tons of subscribers and they do get an equal amount of engagement. It's just that for me it's not exactly equal. But I don't know whose fault that is. And it's not really something I can really control. So it's not really something that I should think about, if that makes any sense. But anyway, into my 2023 reading stats. As the title suggests, I did indeed read 415 books in 2023, which is so many, and it's so much. And like I've said before, I don't really set numerical reading goals, so getting to that number was truly very, very satisfying overall if I do look at it overall at the year itself, and not by month. Speaking of month by month, though, I am going to go into my month by month reading stats. So basically, if you look at the reading months individually, on average, I read 34 books a month or so, but going from worst to best, and I know historically I used to go in chronological order, but basically this year I wanted to go from worst to best to see specifically, I don't know. I'm thinking that it will be more insightful for you guys. Maybe it won't. Who knows? Anyway, my worst reading month was July, which historically has always happened. I don't know why July is always my worst reading month. But anyway, last July I read 24 books, which is a lot, but typically, and I know I just said that I don't set numerical reading goals, but for me, I feel more satisfied if I read 30 to 35 books a month. So anything below 30 for me, or basically anything that's below the number of days in the month is not as satisfying to me personally, because like I said, on average, I do read 35 books a month. So, like, for me, it's, like, disappointing to get below that. But anyway, like I said, in July was the worst reading month. 24 books, not great for me. February, I read 27. Still disappointing, but, you know, February only has 28 days. So, like, with that, I give myself grace because, obviously, February is the shortest month of the year. So, I do read, like, the least amount of books historically. Anyway, April, I read 30 books. November, 31. October, 33. August, 34. In January, I read 35. In May, I also read 35. In September, I also read 35. Which is to be expected just because historically, my best reading months tend to be, like, May, April, June, September, and January. So, yeah, I expect that to be the same next year. But again, I don't really know how my reading year is going to go in 2024. Just because I don't know where I'm going to be in 2024. Like, career-wise. Anyway, where was I? Oh, in December, I read 40 books. In March, I read 42. In June, I read 49. Like, holy shit. I cannot believe that I read 49 books in June. That is the most... Actually, I don't know if it's the most books I've ever read in a month, because I know one year I read 52 books in a month, which is so, like, that's so lofty and so much. But, like, anyway, the point is, in 2023, it was a good overall reading year. I know, like, each month I kept saying that, like, this month isn't as good as I was expecting or whatever, but overall I'm satisfied. I feel like I said that a lot in a lot of my recent reads videos last year, but I'm not completely sure. Speaking of my recent reads videos, I hope to include more books that I rated 3 stars this year, because I feel like last year I would exclude a lot of 3-star books that I read, just because I feel like if I read a book and I rate it 3 stars, and I know it's a, like, well-loved, well-elevated book, I feel like I'm disappointing other people if I rate it 3 stars. Even though I tend to read books that people haven't really heard of. So I feel like it's, like, I don't know, it's a catch-22 maybe. But, like, still, I just feel like I'm disappointing everyone else. And, like, that's my biggest fear is, like, disappointing other people. Even though, again, that's not really something that I can really control. So it's not something that I should inherently think about. But I do think about it all the time. So, anyway, I'm trying to be more honest and more authentic this year with my reading, with myself, and just in general. So, anyway, I hope that translates well to my booktube channel. And honestly, if I do end up disappointing other people, I don't know, like, maybe I shouldn't care. Anyway, what a revolutionary thought, not to care what other people think. Anyway, so that's it for my video. So, yeah, if you enjoy this video, please don't hesitate to give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below the lemon emoji if you made it all the way to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you're new. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.